Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Koala and this is my little nook in this end of the universe, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. I am a shamanic practitioner mainly within the Nordic shamanism, but I'm also initiated into Nusta Karpai and the Munaki rites within the Kero medicine. And today I am in a planning mode for videos to come, and I decided to go through my old journals from about 2 years back, 3 years back actually. The first one I went through this is my journal from my magical journal from March 2023. So yeah, 2 years back, because it's May 25 now. And it runs just for about 1.5 months. This one. So after that one I have this one, and like 5-7 years ago or something I had the opportunity to buy several of these, and I have been holding on to them, and now I decided, why just hold on to them, I need to use them. So I used this from April 23 to November 23, so like 6 months give or take. And then I used this one from the same like brand, and I'm currently going through that one, and it spans from November 23 till, let's see where it ends, somewhere around December 24. So this one spans over a year. And then I have my current one that is not here, but it's a small thing. I'm gonna go get it. So this is my current one. So as you can see, my magical journal. So these are my magical journals. I'm gonna talk about them in a bit. So as you can see, they look very different. I choose one. If I don't have the opportunity to go out and buy a new one, or if I feel like I have a lot of notebooks at home, I just pick the one that I feel like using at the time. Like, oh, this one, I like this one, let's start in this one. I don't feel like they have to look the same. I don't consistency in this department is not important to me, right? What isn't important to me either is consistency in how I write things. So this is like a spread from my journal. And this is just after the winter solstice, this spread. So this spread in there, yeah. And then the day, like, I have a jewelry spread here a few days earlier. I'm not gonna flip through all of them. I just want to share how it can look. I love mind maps. And yeah, I like using a lot of color as well. So going through these journals I actually was looking for a specific timeline of something. So I was going through my journals to find, like, when did I first do this kind of ceremony and how has it looked since then. And first of all, I just want to urge you, if you do some spiritual practice or witchy practice or shamanic practice, whatever, documenting what you do is so, I don't want to say important, like you have to. What I want to say is that it's beneficial to do it. There's so many things that I look back on and be like, oh, and I see so many other things. So while looking for this specific timeline, I see so many positive messages that I've gotten. There's different kind of ceremonies that I've held or took part in, or just done for myself, and it's just lovely to look back on. And it's also very there's a lot of, like, moments where I become very aware of how far I've come and how far I've like my transition, my self-development and my spiritual development. It's all here, because I've documented what I've done. And so I would encourage you to do this. And what I'm also seeing in these journals are how many times I had like wonderful ideas that didn't pan out, but I don't regret trying them. And like at some point I decided to take a course in something, and I did it privately with another shamanic practitioner, right? So I started a course with him, and I had a specific thing in mind that he was going to teach me, and then halfway through, my opportunity to continue that course stopped on a financial basis mostly. And I still carry with me the knowledge and wisdom that I did receive during the first half of that course. And for a long time I have had this nagging in the back of my mind that I didn't continue, and why did I wish I had continued, etc. Now looking back on it, I don't necessarily wish that anymore, and I can see that it was exactly what I needed when I needed it, and the rest will come when I need it again, or if I need it again. And then I have been so inspired to do more things for myself, looking back on things that I've done, and both successes and failures. Everything is documented in here. But it's for me, right? So no one else has access to these. I think, well, my partner can look at them if he wants to, because they're in our apartment, but I don't think he would have any interest in looking through this, fortunately. So I also have a lot of like tabs, and that is to keep track on, and to because sometimes I have ceremonies that I want to look back on regularly. So like maybe spring equinox or summer solstice or Yule. Every Yule I do a spread for myself with my runes, so like a yearly rune spread, and I tab where that is so I can go back and look at that spread when I need to. And every spring equinox I plant seeds for the coming year, so I want to go back and see, look at that, what seeds did I plant, what ideas did I have, especially when I get around to the summer solstice. I want to see, okay, what did I do with the spring equinox this year, where am I with those things. And for 1 year, I think it was 2023 that I'm currently looking at. So I planted some seeds during the spring equinox of 23, and then I can clearly see what happened in what I did consciously during the ceremony, or like the days of the summer solstice, that I can clearly see myself doing those things because I looked back on the spring equinox and wanting to, you know, bring those things up again, give them some power, and continue on those ventures. But I can also see a shift. Like I did plant seeds in the spring equinox. I fulfilled those seeds, or like gave those nourishment during the summer solstice. And then afterwards, in July, in August, I can see a shift in my writing and in how I think about things and how I write things, like, and what kind of guidance I look for when I draw runes for myself, or cards for myself, or in meditation. And I can see a shift changing, and it's so interesting to be able to follow my own journey in that way. So I really love looking back in these old journals and seeing my own journey unfold before my eyes, and being grateful for where I've come, but also everything I've been through. So I really needed this today. I really needed this today. So yeah, and I think I wanted to share this with you, first of all, to inspire you to keep a journal for yourself, no matter how it looks. And my journals have varied throughout the years. So this one, for example, in this one I recorded everything in one and the same. So I have everything from like morning meditation journaling to planning ceremonies to workout sessions, like everything I put in this one journal. And then transitioning into this journal, I bought another journal to keep track of my workouts. So I pulled that out of the magical journaling, and I actually feel inspired to put it in there again the next time I change a journal. So I can see how my thinking has shifted as well. In this one, everything was a part of the same journey, and then I compartmentalized a lot, and that is shown in this one. And it's not a bad thing that I did, it's just different, and I can see how my perspective have changed. And then in this one that continues, and in this one I go deeper into everything that I do. I become more descriptive, while in this one I am less descriptive about certain things, but I go deeper in others, and it's interesting to see how my own experiences shift through the months and the years, etc. So yeah, I really enjoy going through these. So do you keep a journal, or don't you keep a journal? Let me know in the comments. And I say, don't be afraid to fail. I remember when I started my journaling like 10 years ago or something, and I had a hard... I have always tried not to keep myself too accountable to keep it up. I picked it up when I wanted to pick it up. I have always had a reason to pick it up, and that has been the ceremonies that I hold for other people. So in the beginning I wasn't really comfortable with sharing myself with myself, but I could share like things that I did with other people and write those down. And like when I went to ceremonies or to classes or courses or whatever, those are the things that I journaled about. And then after I had finished one specific course, I think I journaled more after that, because I had a reason to, because we got some homework, and that really started me off with journaling about that, and I wanted to keep those records going. But sometimes I don't journal that much for a long time. And one reason I picked these up today is because in this journal it looks less inspiring, right? This is like, in the others I had like a whole spread for one day or one ceremony, one meditation even, and I just journaled a lot. In this one that I've kept since July, because this is my rune spread from last winter solstice. On one spread I have from the 16th of April to the 26th of April. There's just every color of my pen is a different day, and there's just I've been focusing on other things than journaling. I have been focusing on, well, through this period I focused on my recovery from surgery, and it has looked different than I expected it to be, and I needed to go through these today to be a bit more inspired. I didn't do it consciously. I did it to find the specific timeline I was talking about, so I could write it up for myself, and I wanted that for a project. But it's interesting to go back and see how different it can be, and to not judge myself for it, because this is equally important as one of the spreads in this one is, you know, because it says something about me, it says something about my journey, it says something about what I was focusing on and not focusing on. And a lot of the time in this specific journal I was really into my own spiritual path, and I had a lot of I went deep into my own spirituality. In this one I have been focusing on physical manifestation, and therefore I haven't had as much to write down from my mind perspective or my spiritual perspective. It's been more about keeping up my daily routine, I haven't gone all into my spiritual practice as I did before. So yeah, I really recommend both journaling, keeping a magical journal or spiritual journal and looking back through those. I usually do this every winter solstice when I do a recap of the year. I go back through my journal for the last year and look through it. But I rarely go through like several years back. And it's really educational for myself. So I have written down so many ideas for myself during this. So I went in with one intention of finding a specific timeline, and I came out really inspired to do other things and to pick up things that I left on my mental shelf a while back, and to retry some other things in a new way or a new so yeah, I hope you feel a little bit inspired by this. I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, I'm not journaling. Should I? Am I doing something wrong? You're not doing anything wrong if you're not journaling. I simply wanna share the benefits of that I feel from journaling, my spiritual path. So I hope you do feel a bit inspired, no matter where that leads you. Let me know in the comments if you do keep any sort of journal, what you do, how you do it, if you have several different journals for several different things. Because as of now, remember in this black one I had everything in one and the same, and as of I think for the past year I have had several different ones. So it started with me dividing it up to a magical journal and a workout journal, right? And then after that I started a bullet journal. So I keep some things in my bullet journal, and I think I'm entering a stage where at some point when these, because I'm coming to an end with some of these, like I'm coming towards the end with my bullet journal. I have to decide if I want to set up a new one, etc. I think I want to incorporate those more into, I think I want something more that contains everything, but is still something I could take with me, because I do take my journal, especially I do take my magic journal and my bullet journal. I take those with me when I leave the house, you know, especially if I am going to meet friends or have a ceremony or a celebration. I usually take my magical journal with me and my bullet journal with me, because we might set new things up, we might talk about the dates in the future, etc. And I always want to document what we do in one way or another, and I'm terrible at remembering to take in pictures. So yeah, if you have something you want to share in the comments from everything I've talked about, please do. If you don't feel like sharing anything, maybe put an emoji in the comments that is connected to spirituality or magic, or simply a journal one, like a little booklet or something like that, or a pen, so that I know that you watched all the way through. And I will see you in my next video, and we'll see what that is about. If I continue the series of the elements in my next video, I think I will, or if I start my new project with the timeline I was looking for in this it pertains to the timeline that I was looking for in my journals. So have a lovely day, have a lovely May, and I will see you in my next video. Walk in beauty. Jingling.